Welcome to the Cockney Guide to Enlightenment podcast. My name's Stephen Rosen, and in this podcast we go beneath the surface of people's lives to find out what makes them tick. My own life I wrote about in this book, Lost in the Babylon. It's through childhood adversity, organised crime and a successful life as a businessman in the city. When I talk to people, we go beneath the surface of where they got to in their lives and we find out what really makes them tick. So if you want to follow me, connect to me with social media at Cockney Profit. And if you enjoy this podcast, please like it, subscribe or follow us and enjoy the episode. Welcome to the Cockney Guide to Enlightenment podcast. My name's Stephen Rosen and my guest today is Dursun Gunes.
Yes. Dursun, I go by Mr. Always Busy and my brand is called Always Busy.
Dursun, the reason we got him here today is I met him recently just at a coffee stall down a local area, and we got chatting about his brand and what he's doing, and I just thought it was really interesting. There's a lot of noise out there in life today, and I really wanted to just talk to Dursun about where he comes from.
Yep.
What his ambitions are, how he's created his brand. There's a lot of stuff we're going to go into, and hopefully also get into like the why and just see where this conversation goes as normal. No one knows what to expect on this podcast, least of all me. But Dursun, if you, how we normally start, if just give a little bit of background about where you come from. You kind of growing up, schooling, whatever it was, what kind of, what challenges you've had in life around growing up.
Okay. I was born in Southend. I've lived in Southend my whole life. School, I went to Chase High School. Well, it used to be called Prittlewell.
Prittlewell, yeah.
Yeah, Prittlewell Chase, that's it, yeah. I went there. Then from school, I found I was quite good at art and media studies and stuff like that. From a young age, really. Then I went into sixth form, which was actually it was like connected to the school. So I done art and media studies there. Then, but to be honest, I left early in the sixth form because I wasn't really paying attention that much, I guess, yeah.
Did you find it like it just wasn't serving you, or was you just wanting to be getting on with something different?
Yeah, well, I found, with me, because where I've been doing art from a young age, right, at home, even my mum, she used to do art as well. She's a really good artist, so that's probably where I got it from. And then she used to do like loads of like paintings and this and that. But then like I used to find with school, like it's like 80% of it is theory of the actual art, and it's like 20%. So I'm like, it just wound me up. And I was just like, I don't really want to be sitting writing about art. I want to be doing the art. If that makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense. And to be honest,
that's why I got into it. So I was like,
I'm quite surprised that the balance is that strong the other way, because I would have thought it would have been more practical.
So I would have thought it's about like actually learning about the craft and like how can you get from this part to that part to that part to that part with like different techniques, and it's just repetition really with art. But like, yeah, I was like, they just want me to sit there and write a load of stuff about like what's the meaning behind this and this whole like.
So the concept of art.
Yeah,
as well,
like
really.
it's more to do with the concept of like why this means this, or like what did the artist do throughout their life to be able to get to that point, or like this whole.
Bit like this podcast.
Yeah.
Diving into like what makes things tick, but
yeah.
So I hear that you wasn't. It was a subject that you wanted to do, but you wasn't that engaged because it didn't work for you.
It just wasn't for me, I guess, and probably just from just lack of attention, and then I just just wasn't really interested from there. Once my mind was elsewhere, I was just like, yeah, it's not.
And where was your mind then, if it wasn't in what you wanted to do? And do you know why it was like that?
Probably just running around, just being an
Age?
idiot, just being an idiot. Really, when I was young, I was just like, it's not really my thing.
Yeah. Well, I think it's difficult, isn't it, at that young age? I mean, you're only 25 now, I know, but you know, it's difficult at that young age, I think, to really know what you want to do, and
that as well.
You know, to really commit and engage at that age to something is yeah, I don't know, I suppose a lot of kids
really.
do it, but it
like
might
to
be
know
rare.
From that age, it's kind of impossible to know exactly where you want to go or like what your path is going to be. So
yeah. So anyway, did you kind of get any qualifications in them fields that you were studying?
Well, no. To be honest with you, out of school, I only got like 1 or 2 GCSEs in my whole time at school, and it was media studies, and I think it was art. Sorry, yeah, it was art and media studies. Those were like the only 2 that I got any qualifications in.
Yeah, and kind of, I suppose they've served you in what you're doing now.
I guess so. Yeah, they have. Yeah.
I see you're got like building up a presence online on social media around your brand. I mean, we'll get to that in a little bit later, but yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? That you just,
that's where it kind of,
the couple of things that you really did pay some attention to.
I guess
been
so,
out of use, which is, I mean, you know, I left school. I didn't have any exams. I didn't think I needed them. And
you don't. When you're young, you're like, whatever. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, and there can be a lot of different influences when you're young. You know, it's and I suppose at 25 you're not that far away from kind of, you know, the school leaving age. What was it, 16 back then? Or was it?
Yeah, it was about 6. Well, it was like 16, but then when you left, you could either go to like a 6th form, which was like attached to our school, so it was basically like within the same radius.
Yeah.
Or you could like go to a college and do whatever you want elsewhere. But
where did you go when you left school then? You kind of obviously didn't fulfil the 6th form criteria. What did you do? Did you go and start working or?
Well, actually, it was completely different. But I went to a carpentry college.
So you went to study carpentry?
Yeah. So like I've always been like quite good with numbers, like in maths, but just I think it was just my attention span really. But I went there for a year. Done, I think, because of my grades, it was like a BTEC, the equivalent to it.
Yeah.
Went and done carpentry. Yeah, again, unfortunately, it was the academic side that I didn't do well in, so I failed the exams. But anything practical related, I was really good. I was really hands-on. I fully understood everything that I needed to do. But yeah, it was just that written side of the academic.
Have you found, obviously you've just testified that, you know, you wasn't good at it. Have you found that has been a barrier to what you're doing kind of now? Is it like, have you got any kind of limiting beliefs around your capabilities or?
I wouldn't say at the moment, no, because because like most of the stuff I do nowadays, it's like it's either on my phone, or I can use technology, or there's other ways around it. I'm not always like reliant on just having to sit and write things down, or like having to explain everything in such great depth to someone else. Because obviously when I'm doing it for myself, I don't have to do anything. I just kind of go off however I feel at the time.
Yeah.
It's just like that impulse. You just kind of go for it.
Yeah.
And then you figure it out later. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. And I know. Yeah. I mean, I kind of I've done a lot of living like that. Just living on kind of going with the kind of flow, I suppose. Really,
Yeah.
a lot of it was detrimental in my earlier life, but it's more positive now. I've found the more positive flow, and I think it's interesting because obviously, there's a lot of young people out there today who are leaving school, leaving college, and some kids going to university, spending a lot of time and a lot of money studying. And it seems to me that even though they've put all that time and effort and money into their education, the opportunities are not great. So, one of the reasons I want
I'm exactly the same. I feel like, I think they're wasting too much time going to uni and doing all that stuff, but then they could be out actually doing it. They'd get more experience and more hands-on, like life lessons and just things going for themselves if they just go for it instead of just like thinking, they need this and that to be able to start.
And that's what I was going to say. Just I see that in you.
Sorry to cut you off, but yeah.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I just I didn't want to kind of lose the thread of what I was saying, but I saw you as a young man who's not been educated, but who's not allowed that to be an adverse effect in life.
Not hold you back.
It's not hold you back. So, I think it's what's that positivity? Where do you get that from? Did it come from just like, I've got to find my own way here, or is it something different?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It could just. Well, I've always been like kind of independent, or you could call it like stubborn, or I guess so. It's just in your own head. You're thinking, I don't need anyone. I can do this and do that. But then it's like, obviously when you're young, you're limited to like what you actually can do with that. But obviously now I'm older, I understand things a bit more. So it's just going for it, really.
Yeah, and I think I can remember when we first chatted. Did you say you went into graphics, or you had a job as a graphic designer or something like that?
No, it was screen printing.
Screen printing.
Yeah,
sorry.
So I'd done a internship in screen printing. That's how it kind of like started off.
And that was where you got your inspiration from to do something for yourself, was it?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so that was where I got the idea for like the fashion clothing side of things. So so I used to be like an intern working there, learning how to screen print for another company, for Tim. Big up Tim. He's helped me out with a lot of stuff. Random generator printing. He basically showed me and helped me like design, just about the whole fashion industry, that sector of it, and then just from there really it kind of birthed the passion for wanting to chase after it, I guess.
Yeah. So once again that kind of media, that creativity, the art
putting
side,
it into something,
kind of it accumulates,
kind of added up.
Yeah, towards that, screen printing is quite a kind of artistic, creative job, I imagine. So so just the carpentry, you just kind of decided that wasn't really going to go anywhere.
Yeah, I kind of because since I failed my exams, my head was just, it wasn't there. I was just like, I'm done with this. I'm just gonna on to the next thing. And then just after the carpentry, I was looking for other jobs, and I was working in like a warehouse. I was retail, like hospitality, like restaurants and stuff, but none of it was really for me. I was just there just because I was just getting paid, really.
Yeah, and I think it's really valuable that fairly young, you've decided that actually, if anything's going to happen, I'm the one that's going to make it happen.
Yeah,
it sounds like it to me.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's just you're just finding something that you actually 100% want to do. Because if your head's not there, then it's like you're not going to give your like full effort or attention to it. Yeah. So I don't want to be chasing becoming like the next top manager for someone else. I'd rather do it for my own.
Yeah. And
No offense to anyone that does that. But
no. I mean,
that's just not me. That's not what I would want to do.
Yeah, everyone's got different ways that they excel and do good in. But not everyone's obviously working for themselves. But I think it's really good that we spoke about just kind of school not serving you because you just wasn't really engaged. It wasn't kind of your thing, and just then finding that it sounds like you've had to go through this process, which I'm just synopsising that you've had to try these different jobs, try education, try studying, try all of this stuff, and then found it didn't work for you, and then you've let go of it, and then you've moved into something different, which is really, I think, the big learning point of not spending like a whole lifetime trying to get a square peg into a round hole, you know what I mean?
I know.
If that works, that kind of
you don't keep chasing something if you know it's not like gonna do anything for you.
So
it's just it's that whole switch up, the whole change of things that helped.
And did it take a while for this to happen for you? Was there any kind of internal resistance to starting this, or was it just like, actually, I can do this? How did it feel when you wanted to break out on your own? Because it's a risk, isn't it?
Of course, it's a massive risk. But it was, I think, that moment where I was kind of like, I wanted to go and do this for myself. It was where when I was working for Tim, I was at his place, and obviously I was just doing stuff for his company, so it would just be printing other shirts, whatever they had going on. But then obviously he kind of come to me and he said, like, if you want, like, we can help you do some stuff for your own brand, because I had some ideas about running a brand and like doing little things, but then he was like, oh, if you want, we can come to like an arrangement where you can use my printing services, but you have to print your own shirts. So then that was where I was learning, and then I started doing my own designs, and he helped me create like designs on his laptop. I didn't even have a laptop. It was just using his stuff and then just going from there, really. Just learning the basics and then just like building it up.
So it sounds like you found a good mentor really to help you.
I would say you could call it a mentor.
To encourage you to step into your own thing, and that's just so rich to hear that from someone who's running a business, and obviously he's employing someone, but also I mean and a big thing for me is I talk to people. I know quite a few people starting businesses or in businesses. I always talk about this element of conscious business because, I think a conscious business is something that doesn't just serve the person, but it serves everyone in a way. And it sounds like, this guy's, he's really just good to, to help you get on your journey as well. And just to have that, I can help this young man do something, and I'm going to, and he can use my stuff, and he can, practice what he needs to practice, and I think that's consciousness to me. It's not just like, oh, the guy's got to turn up, he's got to do his time, he's got to do this, and I don't want him to use up any resources.
I mean, well, we had that conversation. He even put it to me, and he said, we can either do this like one of two ways. Like you can either come here and you can just get like paid for the hour, and you can just go home and that's it. Or he was like, well, because he could probably sense that I wasn't like interested in that sort of side of things. He was obviously could see that I was more of like an independent kind of person, and he was like, well, something that could be probably more useful to you is if we do it in that way. So it's like we're trading services almost, like we're trading time, like different things. He's trading his services and his time. Obviously, I'm learning a trade and obviously also helping him out.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, and that's how I think conscious things work, because there's a natural flow to it.
Yeah.
And it serves everybody. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's really,
I would
it's
advise,
valuable.
I'd advise that to anyone starting a business or anyone doing something. Just if you can find like a mentor or someone to like guide you on a certain path, or if trading services for different things, I'd find that helps a lot.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's how our whole monetary system started out, was in a form of barter, wasn't it?
That's it. Yeah,
and
yeah.
people that I know that are kind of going back to that.
Yeah.
One of the guys on my men's circle recently was saying that, he's a very skilled cabinet maker, and he'll go and he'll stay in someone's place maybe for a few weeks or a month and do a bit of work for them, and just it seems like a good way to just spend a bit of time and give people what they need and get something back out of it. So, I'm not saying the whole world can operate like that.
Yeah, no, of course. Yeah.
But the values in that, I
That's
think,
it,
are really
yeah.
important. Just understanding that, whatever we do, it's got to work for everyone.
Yeah.
And
It's got to be an exchange.
an exchange, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can't just be like a one-sided.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it won't last.
Well, no, I mean, what we see, I suppose, without getting into politics and all of
cool.
that.
Yeah.
What you see is people just consuming and taking and taking and taking,
And not giving anything back.
and not really offering anything back that doesn't really enrich themselves. So I think there's a lot of that, and I think our systems are kind of like that. So that's why I like organic stuff. I like organic kind of businesses, startups, which you are. You're a startup, and it sounds like it's on a shoestring sort of budget to start with. Unless did you kind of find any investment, or did you just?
Well, I started off with like 170 quid. That was it, really. I literally,
yes.
Yeah. And so I put that money into like the that was just the cost of the blank t-shirts.
Yeah.
So I'd order it through Tim, pay him for the cost of the shirts, and then obviously everything else, I'd just do it myself because I'd be printing it.
Yeah.
And then he would let me use like his, like the transparent packaging bags.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just used those for like the first 50 shirts. That's what it was like the first batch of 50 shirts, and then I just from there sold them and then just kept reinvesting.
I mean, it's great, and I started what turned out to be quite a big business, which I sold.
Yeah.
I started that with a bucket and a window cleaning squeegee.
Yeah.
And knocking on doors.
That's
literally.
what you got to do. Knock on a door. If you don't have any customers,
Yeah.
go knock on a door. Go find them.
Yeah,
That's
just
literally it.
having that energy to go out and make things happen. Just knocked on those doors, and I was kind of doing a job as well. So I was in like from 6 a.m. to like 1 p.m. I was working as a window cleaner for someone. Then I'd go home and I'd change, and I'd go
and do your own thing.
Go and knock on doors, build a bit of work up. Eventually, I had like 100 people working for me, doing much bigger things than just cleaning windows. But it started with that energy that you're talking about. And that just, nothing really, just like, I've got these resources within me. I've got this potential within me. And it's great when, you get a mentor that can see that in you as well and give you a hand. But I suppose for me, it was a lot about like, I can do this. I can take this risk.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Did you feel that?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I'd say like it's just a sense of like, well, if someone else can do it, then why can't I?
Yeah.
So obviously they started from somewhere. You got to start from somewhere. You just got to have that mentality of like, okay, you're in this situation, but what can you do to improve? What can you like? You just can't think of things like to hold you back, because obviously you got to think of how can I do this? How can I resolve it? How can I get to the next stage? Because if you focus too much on the, I don't know, that's what stops people.
Yeah.
I think.
So yeah, most of what holds people back is their own belief systems.
Yeah,
I think.
it's their own head. It's their own. Yeah. It's their own. Or it could be from like people that they speak to. It could be like anyone. It could be like little things that kind of say to them, "Oh, I don't know. Oh, that's too risky," or I don't know. Or,
yeah, because I think that's in life. People generally tend to project their own views and their own beliefs on everybody else.
Yeah.
So, you meet a lot of naysayers, as, to use an expression.
Yeah.
But yeah, you might be safer going down that route, and without risk,
there's no reward.
There's no reward, and there's no expansion. I think, you've got to be prepared. I found, I had to be prepared to take a risk, to let go of a security, and whatever that was. Sometimes it was a job, sometimes it was, just taking a leap of faith and
yeah, that's it.
Yeah, buying something or doing something different.
To invest in the equipment or this or that to get to that next point where you want to be.
Yeah, so that's really valuable that you shared that. And was there any other kind of barriers, internal barriers or external barriers that you met early on that would be valuable to kind of let people know about?
I would say the main thing is just about it's like to do with like your circle of like people you hang out with, or like your friends or whoever you speak to about certain things, because like if you're not around the right people, then like you won't go anywhere, because it's just like they're gonna be, like you said, about it's the words and the things that they say that kind of push people back to doing what they do. But then if you take that away and you go to like a different group of people that are like completely like positive, and they're like, yeah, we can do this, yeah, how are we gonna solve that, and they want you to do well,
yeah,
then you'll get further, because you're not around that sort of kind of mental like restraint.
Yeah,
I would say, because they don't understand the things that you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much in that. As you're sharing that, I'm thinking that it's so valuable to recognise when your tribe or your group or your peers are not serving
That's another.
you.
It's like that peer kind of thing of like, oh, I need to be around this person, or like because you chill with them every day or whatever it is. But like, if you're on a path and you're doing something completely different and you're trying to get to wherever you're trying to go, like, you got to think realistically, like, it's a business, right? So you got to look at it as, okay, cool. If you're not helping me out and you're not doing the things that I want to do to get to where I want to be, then it's not
or supporting what I want to do.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's not like, oh, I'm just gonna not be friends with you forever, but like you got to kind of have a distance.
Yeah.
You got to look at it from like a different perspective.
And find the people that are going to help you and support you and encourage you. So yeah, I mean, you got to find you a new tribe sometimes.
That's
in
it.
life.
Yeah.
And that peer pressure thing, especially, I don't want to keep going back to younger days, but the younger you are, I found, and it seems that the more kind of weight you put on the people that are around you, the more you'll maybe sacrifice yourself or your ways or your faults just to fit in and to be not different.
That's it. Yeah.
And what I'm hearing now is that you get to a certain point in life and you've realised that actually I need to be different to this all of these narratives that are around me and just step into something new, and that's a big move, that is. It's a big move, and just internally I think breaking away from systems that maybe are not working into something that is unknown, but it's a big move, and I think it's really valuable that you kind of pointed to that, really.
Yeah.
And
that goes with just anything really. It's like, because they're not going to be your customers. That's the thing. Like your core like friendship groups, or that they're not going to be your customers. They're going to be like the mass population of everyone else that you're trying to reach.
Yeah. And let's go on to your brand, because always busy.
Yes, I mean, always busy. Yes,
it's an interesting brand name. I mean, where did that come from?
I think it's just been from the type of person I've been. Like I said, with like my attention and just little things where I've always been. Even my mum has always said to me, like, you're always busy doing something, whether it's like you're drawing, you're running around outside, you're doing this, you're doing that, your head's kind of all over the place, sort of thing. So that's probably where it came from, really.
Yeah.
But then I used it to like kind of make it in a positive light of like being always busy, but in a positive sense.
Yeah.
Not just always busy for the sake of being always busy, like doing nonsense. I mean, like actually doing something with your time.
Yeah, and I suppose it's quite reflective of modern life, because people always seem to be busy, don't they?
Yeah.
They're always busy, and I think it's a good capture. It's a good capture that you can maybe be always busy, but you can do it in a structured way.
That's it. Yeah. So I think it's kind of, it's about, so like the type of person that is, as you say, like they're pushing to get where they want to get. So if you notice, like these types of people, they're focused, they're hardworking, they're looking for opportunities, they're investing, they're doing all the right things, like to get where they want to be and however far they want to take their business. So it's that mentality of that type of person that is always busy. But it don't matter like what kind of industry you're in. It could be like you could be running a restaurant, you could be running a podcast, you could be clothing, you could be building company, it could be whatever. But you as the owner, you have that chase of like, okay, I need to do this and this, that pursuit of, I want to get there.
Yeah, I think it's like an entrepreneurial spirit, isn't it?
That's it. Yeah, it's that kind of mentality of things. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's there, and but do you think you can create it, or do you think you just got it and you have to develop it?
I think anyone can do it, but it needs to be like the right situation, the right things that they have to go through. So obviously, but not everyone kind of goes through those things. So they never know if that's going to be for them or not, until they might realise it later on in life. Because there's people where they'll work like a 9 to 5 their whole life, and then they get to 30 and they're like, oh, I want to start a business. So then they have to realise all the things that they have to do. But depends how early on you decide to go on that journey, or yeah.
I love that perspective, working their whole life and then getting to 30.
Yeah,
as a young man's perspective.
You know what I mean? But people can go to any age, because there's people that start businesses at 50, 60.
For sure, absolutely.
30, 20,
yeah.
14.
I started this podcast at 60, you know what I mean? So
well, exactly. So there's nothing holding you back, but it's just the at what age do you kind of, or what do you go through for when you like kind of wake up and be like, oh, wow, like there's more things to it than just kind of working, going home.
Yeah, and it's, I think it's exploring your potential in whatever.
It's your own potential.
Whatever way that is, and it might be in business, and entrepreneurs obviously put a lot of their potential into business, and other people might put their potential into different areas. But I think we're talking about business, we're talking about your brand, but also we're talking about human beings, and we're talking about, you can always be busy, kind of running around like an headless chicken, or you can be busy structuring and going like, this is what I want.
That's it.
This is these are the kind of rough guide steps that I need to get there. So I'm going to try these steps, and I think that's like, the action part of it.
That's it.
Is really the part that makes it move, isn't it?
The action, yeah.
Yeah, really taking the action, and So I mean, I'm really interested that your brand, that I watch your marketing and you kind of where you're showing up, and
Yeah.
and there's a lot of kind of street. Is it street fashion?
Yeah, that's street fashion, streetwear. It's like just to do with basically like the style of clothing that I would wear, or like
Yeah.
more towards the ground level of customer, I guess. Would you say it's not like aimed for people that are like high end runways or like big fashion companies?
Yeah.
More like root level, I would say.
Yeah, so it's
More relatable to people, I guess.
yeah, and I like that. I like the organic stuff, and
Yeah, yeah.
you know, don't get me wrong. A lot of organic things get big because they're successful.
Yeah.
and I think relatable as well, and I really like that. And I see you in some of your little pop up street markets in London and
Yeah,
different
yeah,
places like that, and then you know, like the youngsters have got your brand on, they've bought your brand, or they're wearing your brand, or
Yeah.
or you paid them to stand in front of a camera, whatever, it don't
Yeah,
matter.
yeah.
But you know, it's nice to tap into that energy, I think, and something that, you know, is probably you've got access to that I haven't got access to, is like the kind of minds of young people
Yeah.
that are, you know, looking to get ahead in life, looking to move forward, and they want to wear the kind of clothes that they want to wear. They want to show up, and I know a lot of it.
They want to stand out. They
want to stand out.
you know,
They want to be kind of different in their own way. You know, their own individuality, and yeah, I really like that, and I see that in your brand that, you know,
Thank you.
you're doing a lot of different things, and it comes across to me, you know, as very authentic, and I think that's
I
just
try to be, yeah.
yeah, I think that's. I mean, for me, that's such a valuable thing to see in anyone. You know,
Yeah.
authenticity. I mean, is that something that you really try to, you know, work into your brand, try to build into your brand?
Yeah, I always try and keep it authentic to myself, because at the end of the day, like even like the type of customers that I want, and like the people in my brand, in the community, I don't want them to be like people that I wouldn't like hang around with, or like that I would get along with, or have the same views, or see what I mean. So it's got to be people that kind of are in that same circle.
Yeah, and I hear that, and I hear that. The question that comes up for me is that limiting you in any way, though?
In what sense would you say limiting?
In like limiting your market, limiting the reach of the people that you want to reach. I'm not saying, obviously,
well,
you've made it clear that you're not looking at like the high end, very high end market.
I wouldn't
but
say it limits it. Well, in the long term, it could reach other places, but then, like at the moment, like what I would say is I'm just keeping it true to myself.
right.
But then, you could have like a brand for, say, like, just look at I don't know if you know Trapstar, right? They're a very kind of streetwear orientated type of brand. They've been doing the same thing for donkey's years, and now they've just started to get into like more high fashion. So like their type of audience now they're trying to reach is like they're selling like a $3,000 jacket, or like
Right, yeah.
a £1,000 hoodie, or see what I mean? So it's,
I do, yeah.
So you can get there. It's any brand can kind of do it, but you've got to have that core initial following of people, and then to be able to push up to that point. Because
If that's your goal, yeah.
yeah. If that's your goal, I don't even know what I'm going to be doing in 10 years or whatever.
Yeah,
but,
of course, yeah. I mean, it would be limiting to say this is what I'm going to be doing.
Yeah, but look at like Supreme. They're still like a very streetwear kind of ground level. Not ground level as in the sense of business, but like the type of people that they're attracting.
Yeah. And of course, you know, not
But
everyone
they're massive
has got
anyway.
$3,000 for an hoodie
Yeah,
or $3,000
well, of
for a
course.
jacket. You know?
So yeah, you wanna target the type of people that you know would wear your brand
Yeah,
on like an everyday kind of thing, or even if it's like for an occasion, but you want those types of people.
yeah. So I get what you're saying. You relate to your customers,
to your audience.
really.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
You relate to your customer, and you want it to keep things accessible, I suppose. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds nice to be like selling hoodies for $1,000, but you know, there's a very limited market, I imagine, at that level.
Yeah, there are. I mean, but it just depends how you market it, really, because like there are some companies like they might sell like all these £1,000 hoodies and this and that, but like they don't have to sell that many, like but they just keep it so exclusive. So like they could sell like 10 hoodies a week, whereas someone else who's selling like an £80 hoodie, they have to sell 10,000 or whatever it is.
Yeah, different horses for different courses,
Yeah.
I suppose.
So there's different types of the business, however they want to take it.
Well, how does it feel if you're out and about and all of a sudden you someone you don't know, you notice them wearing one of your products?
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah. I remember the first time I ever saw someone wearing a t-shirt. I was so gassed, honestly. Literally, I saw him I was in a club, right? And I see him. He was at the bar, and I just ran up to him and just stuck a camera in his face and just started filming him. I was like, "Mate, you're wearing my t-shirt," and he was like, "Oh, really?" I was like, "Oh, yeah."
Yeah, no. Did you buy him a drink?
I don't think I did actually. No, I don't know what happened, but I must have just been really drunk. But
yeah. A good feeling.
Yeah, it's one of the best feelings. Yeah, when you see someone like wearing your products or something you've created, something you spent a lot of time in doing, and they've bought it off their own back. It's not like me kind of haggling them to buy it. Like they've gone out because they genuinely like the product.
They've liked it. Yeah. You've reached your market.
That's one of the best things. Yeah.
You've reached your customer, and I'm sure that will continue to build. Have you got? I know you don't know where you're going to be in 10 years, but have you got like a yearly plan of where you want to get to, kind of marketing wise, production wise, stuff like that?
Yeah, so for production wise, I have to plan ahead all the time, just because just how long things take. Like even when I go to China, I source my products. They for a sample, it would take 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then for a bulk production, pardon me, it would take anywhere from say 30 to 40 days. Or it could take 2 months, depending on the product. But yeah, you have to factor all of that into your kind of routine, because say if I'm designing a shorts and t-shirt set for summer, and then by the time it comes around, it is summer, I've already missed the deadline.
Yeah.
Because I have to fit in my marketing, or my video shoots, photo shoots, whole campaign, website, SMS, email.
Yeah.
There's a whole kind of back end structure to it.
Yeah.
That you have to fit in months and months in advance before you even release a product.
So you really got to be a season ahead.
Yeah, I'd say you have to be a year ahead.
A year ahead.
At the moment, I'm planning. I've got stuff coming in for summer now, but also I'm planning stuff for the end of this year and the new year.
Right.
So I've got the products in mind that I want to release. So it's just putting the orders in and preparing the right campaigns and things, how I want to push it.
So it sounds like to me that you're doing everything at the moment. Is that right?
Yeah. At the minute, it's just all me. Yeah. Just pushing it all by myself. Yeah. Obviously, I get help with people when I need certain things like photos and.
Yeah, you can collaborate on bits and pieces.
Or models and whatnot. But yeah, majority of it, running the business itself, is me. Yeah,
it's a lot, isn't it? And
it is
glad
a lot.
It's
a lot of work.
You've spoke to that because there's a lot of background stuff that goes on, and You know, I think when we had our little chat when I met you, we was talking about the process of ordering, of samples, of then sending back and
That's
refining.
it. Yeah, it might even take. Say you take 2 weeks for a sample and it don't come out correct.
Yeah,
you
they're
gotta
saying
do it
you
again.
don't like the way they've stitched it or something
Exactly.
like that. Yeah.
So then that's another 2 weeks. Then also, it comes back and it's wrong. That's another 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You got to make sure that when you're releasing it, it's got to be 100% how you want it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Otherwise, you just wasted your money. Because
Yeah,
then if you release it and it's like something's wrong with it, no one's gonna
or
buy
it's
it.
not a good enough quality.
Yeah, or it could be bad quality, or just loads of little things that could add up to affect like how it could perform.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So it's not just how it looks; it's how it feels.
Yeah, it's how.
know,
yeah, there's loads of things to it. It's like how it looks, how it feels. Yeah, like the quality. Could be like the overall design itself. It could just be a terrible design.
Yeah.
Like how you picture it in your head, but you gotta look at it from like a consumer point of view as well. So you gotta
Absolutely,
think what do they like? What type of things are either that they're typically likely to sell, or you could either go with something that's very kind of against that, but then obviously you're taking the risk, so you don't know. But that's all it's about. It's all trial and error, really. You got to work out your audience and what you're kind of.
And
pushing.
do you tune into your? I know, obviously, you're the engine. Do you tune into your kind of intuition about that? Is like this kind of goes against the grain a bit, but I think it's going to be okay.
I really like it. Yeah. Like even like with the jackets, for example. Like I always knew that people like that kind of jacket, like a waterproof jacket, loud colours. But obviously with that sort of style, you're targeting a certain type of people, which is obviously what I want. I don't want the type of people that will just wear anything.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean? Yeah. They like that sort of stuff. They like to stand out. They like that bold kind of look.
Yeah, yeah.
And even I designed the camo myself. So yeah, just stuff like that. Really, just going for it. But you learn once you figure out what people like, or like you put pictures up and you say, oh, what does everyone think of this? You kind of gauge whether it's worth investing in.
So before
or not.
committing, you do a bit of market research and
you have to
get a feel. Yeah, yeah. Obviously, yeah. Otherwise, you're committing to a production.
But sometimes, even when I first started out, I didn't even do that. I just kind of went for it. Like the first lot of T-shirts and things that I did, because I was so fixated on the, like, I need to get this going. I can't just sit and wait forever. I was just like, I don't even care. I'm just gonna. I thought it was cool to myself, and I was like, yeah, if I think it's cool, someone else will think it's cool. So I just like, let's do it.
And I think that partly that's that.
But now I'm just more like,
there,
that's it. But now I'm more like, kind of like careful with what I'm doing.
Yeah, because you're learning a bit more about business as well, aren't you? I imagine. But I just like had a kind of little flashback of me in my business, because I went from like a cleaning business to like building up the whole maintenance side, and I just had a flashback of me literally hanging over in Old Street, a 6-story building over the side on a bosun's chair, so that's a rope. Okay. Even before they done like the abseiling thing, so I was on a rope in a chair trying to get this old cast iron drain pipe off. And it was raining, and I had an electric drill that was plugged in. I was getting shocked.
Yeah, really.
And then I was like, I'm gonna fucking do this. Do you know what I mean? And I did. But yeah, looking back, it's like one of those, like, it wasn't that well thought out. Do you know what I mean? But it was part of building that.
But you was in it, so you was
part
like,
of building that
I'm gonna
business
do it.
and learning and understanding. And making things happen as well, because that's what I'm hearing. That, you know, especially when you're starting out, it's just that energy of like,
it's trial error.
I've got to make this happen. No one else is going to do it.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
And a lot of things that's you find with speed. That's like one of the main things you have to kind of pick up on, because if you're not quick, you don't test things out, you're going to take so long to get your stuff out there, and just by that time it's too late. and then if you've already taken that long to release something, and it turns out it's crap and no one likes it, you just waste a load of time. But if you'd done it quicker, you could have moved on to the next thing, and then you kind of like, okay, cool, I want to do something different now, or like you're going to think of another way to kind of get rid of your product. Or
and have you had a product that you've kind of invested in that's fell flat, that's not really taken off?
Yeah, there are some products that obviously they sell better than others.
Yeah.
So yeah, it could be like some t-shirt designs or just.
I suppose the second part of that question.
Yeah, or just over ordering stock basically, just because.
The second part of that question, which I didn't finish really, was how quick do you move on and let go? I mean,
what, from a product before?
Yeah. If you know something's like, oh, this is not really done what I needed to do, are you like, oh, I've invested in this, or are you like, actually, boom, let's get rid of that, sell it off cheap, get whatever it is, move on, let's get on to the next thing.
I'd say I try and do it quick, but obviously now I've come to realise, obviously you don't actually know like until you kind of reach a larger audience of people, because then there's been times where I could be like in my area, I could be selling my hoodies, right, and then they don't do as well for some reason, but then I go to London, I do like a pop-up or something, and they sell out. You know what I mean? So it's hard to kind of, but yeah, I usually get a kind of instinct. If it doesn't do well in all the areas, if I release it here, the shit. If I go somewhere else, it's bad. I'm like, okay, cool, I need to get rid of this. Because if you can't appeal to any audience, then it's kind of useless, isn't it?
Yeah. So what I'm hearing is don't burn your bridges too quickly, but be prepared to.
But you have to be, when you kind of get that idea in your head of, okay, it's not doing as well as normal. Sack it off, pretty much. Yeah.
Are you feeling excited about your summer launch? I know you got a new launch coming out, have you?
Yeah, I'm very excited. Yeah. This is actually one of my polos that I'm releasing. It's for the new summer collection. So yeah, no, I'm very excited. I've got a lot more thought into this one with my campaign. Got some t-shirts coming as well, and then some socks. So yeah, I'm very excited.
Nice. And do you see kind of your brand kind of being fairly exclusive, or do you see it like, hopefully picking up in different areas? I mean, are you got any plans to have like a premises or anything like that, or are you happy just to not operate with a fixed overheads like that kind of thing,
Yeah, I would say at the moment, I would say I keep it exclusive with my designs and my stock. So like anything that I release from whatever year, it could be once it sells out of that particular design, I don't ever bring it back. So once it's gone, it's gone. So that creates that kind of urgency, and also from the type of customer that want to buy it, because again, they like that sort of feeling of they want to stand out, they want to be different, they don't want something that everyone else is going to have at any time of the year. So it's that kind of statement as well.
And I think it's so important in my understanding of business and being an entrepreneur, which I've been for a long time, is niche is really...
niche.
It's got its own value, that, and you're not trying to please everyone, you know?
No, you can't please everyone.
Yeah.
Like, it's even, like you're saying about with your business, like you can't go and please every kind of customer that you go to. It's only certain types of people that would appreciate what you do. Yeah.
And I eventually sold that business quite a few years ago now, and what I do now is quite niche. It's like because I learned, it's like I went through the whole process of trying to be everything to everyone.
That's it. You're trying to please everyone.
It takes
but then
a lot
you
of
realise
energy
you
to
can't.
do that.
Yeah.
A lot of energy, and you need a lot of good people around you. Otherwise, it don't work. So I think niche, I think small is the way forward. Do you find at the moment? Maybe it's a bit too early on to say, but do you find that the system in the UK is that encouraging you to go into business? Is it encouraging you to build business, or is it hampering you in any way?
Yeah, I would say it's not the best, to be honest, mate. It's like I don't know. It's just every kind of person that I've spoken to anyway that runs a business or just anything, they always say like it's just holding them back. It's always trying to push them in the opposite direction or like against them making money or all these little things. There's always a new like law or there's a new something that you have to be worried about or you've got to do this and that. It's not the best.
And I can identify with that. As I said, I started a business and
well, like say you make £1 million, then how much of that do you get to keep?
Yeah, but it's the incentive, I think, which is the big part. Because I found in my business when I started, I started and created a lot of employment for a lot of people. And
that's it.
Obviously, there's money going into the economy, and the bureaucracy that kind of was introduced in the 10, 15 years that I run that business really stifled my entrepreneurial spirit of like, what am I doing? Why am I doing all this? So that was why I asked that question, and I suppose it's still a really important question today. People who want to be in business, other people maybe have got a perspective that, oh wow, it's really easy for you, but there's a lot.
Mate, it's not.
A lot going against you. You're going against the tide on a lot of things, and I just wanted to bring that in because I see a really inspirational young man sitting here who's going out and doing his thing and just really putting his money where his mouth is. He's 170 quid where he
that's it.
And building on that, and I think we need to celebrate young men like you.
Of course, who
are stepping out and doing something different, and really
100%
celebrate, mate. Yeah.
But I think that comes from your experience of doing business. Like I was saying, with like the right type of people. Not everyone kind of has that kind of look on things. Because some people would look at someone trying to do something, or like they're selling their products, or I don't know, whatever they're selling lemonade, whatever it is, they're trying to get somewhere. You should be applauding people that do that, and actually like encouraging them and say, you keep going.
Yeah, I think that's it's something that we need to do.
It's hard. It is hard work
in business. I think in schools, in all areas of life, really start celebrating people rather than, it seems like the narrative is to like, just put them down. You know what I mean?
Just that negative kind of.
Yeah.
I always say to people, like, whenever I see them, or like, I've even had people stop me like in the street and I'll be like, oh, you're that always busy. I always have a chat with them, always speak to them. Like, if they're ever doing something, I'm like, mate, you try this, bam, 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 bam. Give them little tips or whatever. I
mean, it doesn't cost anything to really show people appreciation, I think. And it's such a valuable, it's such a valuable commodity to be just, that can be freely given. And I think we need to appreciate what people do, whatever they do, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And not judge it so much, but we've gone off track a little bit.
That's all right.
But I suppose all these things, and from my perspective, it's not about, it is about how people are showing up and what they're doing on the surface, but it's about all the stuff that contributes to that. All the experiences, where people's energy comes from, where it goes, and
obviously everyone's life's different, so everyone has different things that hold them back or push them, or But
Dursun, it's really I've really enjoyed chatting to you. Anything
me too.
Anything you want to kind of bring up that you feel has not been mentioned about your business or your journey, or anything that you want to offer people?
I would say you got to have like with, obviously I know it's cliche, everyone's starting a clothing brand, right? But you got to kind of have like your reason behind why you're doing it, or like you got to carry a message behind something. That's what I would say to people. Don't just start something and like you not have anything behind it.
So you got to know your why. Is that
That's it.
what you're saying?
You got to know your why you're doing this, or you got to figure it out. Obviously, I didn't know at first, but like you got to figure it out, and then that will help you develop the business and like how you promote it.
Yeah, I think that's really, really valuable because, we don't always know our why. Sometimes we, as you said earlier on, you just get this bang, 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 I'm going to go and do this and try all of this stuff. And then I think the why develops It
develops later because then you realise that obviously, why am I doing all these things?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or like, when it starts to develop, you got to realise like what's the mission.
And that's where your foundation is starting
That's
to be really built,
That's it.
When you get
That's
the
what
mission.
will carry you to like the next big stages that you want to get.
Yeah, your goals,
That's it.
Yeah, your goals, man. Dursun, where can people follow you and how can people buy your products and how can people, just get on board with what you're doing? Because I think it's brilliant.
So I've got my Instagram, which is always busy D&D. Same for TikTok and Facebook. Or also, if you want to order anything online, the website is alwaysbusydnd.store. Or also, if you're local to London as well, I also stock some of my stuff in 777 store in Camden. So if you're local to London, then you could pop in and buy some of the stuff there.
Yeah.
But mainly if you want to keep updated with stuff, just or social media or on the website.
Or just DM you for some more information.
Mate, feel free. My personal Instagram is Mr. Always Busy. Feel free to message me any time of the day. I'll answer. Obviously, if I'm doing something, I'll get back to you. But feel free. Message me if you want to try on a size, if you want to question about certain products or this, that, whatever. Feel free.
Yeah, and you're very approachable.
Yeah, of course, mate. You can stop me wherever. I'm not going to say to you, no, don't talk to me. No.
I know you've got a busy schedule. We were talking
of course,
before we come on air.
If I've got time and I'll chat to anyone.
Yeah. So follow Dursun. There's some exciting things coming up. He's got a new kind of season coming out, and I know you got some filming other bits and pieces that are
loads
all
of bits
scheduled
going on.
So I really appreciate you taking the time to come.
Thank you for inviting me
and share your experience with us on the Cockney Guide to Enlightenment podcast. So please tell your friends about this podcast. You can follow it. You can get it on YouTube on my channel at Cockney Profit, or on any of the podcast channels. It's the Cockney Guide to Enlightenment podcast, and we're here to serve you. Dursun, cheers, my man.
Cheers,
thank you very much.